What are we talking about today?
Then in the second one, we're going to talk about the second one now.
The second one...
It started out, they kind of, like I said, they tied their hands a little bit in the ending of the first one to make the second one so that it had to, at least in part, be about Marty McFly's kid. Right?
Yeah. Which was pretty much just him, but with greasy hair.
Yeah.
Oh, and the loose...
And he was he was also kind of a weenie.
He was a wimp.
Yeah. He was like George McFly in the past.
Yeah. Oh, he was... That's one thing about the first movie, is Crispin Glover. Like, I know he's supposed to act like a wimp and everything, but, like, his acting's pretty bad.
I don't know.
Like, it's enjoyable, it's funny,
I wouldn't say it's bad acting,
like,
it's just... It's because of the time that it's from, right? Like, you gotta remember, acting changes throughout. So, to us, some of the shit that he does is cheesy, but I guess in a way I forgive some old acting just for the fact of, like, if you watch a movie from the 60s and, like, or the 50s or the 40s, people in it act as if they're acting on stage.
Yeah, no, that's
right?
true, yeah.
So, like, it's been a slow evolution to now acting is different, and people act how people act in real life, or how people would want to act in real life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree with you. George McFly was a little bit over the top in the first one, especially compared to today's standards.
Yeah.
But in the second one, young Marty McFly, or whatever, Marty McFly Jr., was also a little bit over the top and shit, right? Everything is. Biff is wearing a hockey glove, or Griff is wearing a hockey glove just as, like, fashion, or I don't know if that's
he's wearing, like, a skate helmet with just, like...
spikes?
Almost, not even spikes, but that's, like, almost like someone, like, put a footprint on his...
Well, it looks like, you know, like a meat...
cleaver?
Not a meat cleaver, but you know, like those hammers.
Oh, those presses, yeah.
No, it's like a hammer that you beat a steak with to make it so that it is softer or whatever, more tender. Yeah. Meat tenderizer is probably what it's called. But, it kind of looks like that on the top of his head, and, like, Elijah Wood makes a cameo in the second one. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Elijah Wood.
Unless if you didn't tell me, I wouldn't know it.
Yeah. And, I don't know, they filmed the second and the third one at the same time, so there's a lot more setup in the second one for the third one. Like, in the second one, they say, like, what's his name? Emmett Brown says, I'm gonna dismantle this time machine, right? So I'm never gonna get a chance to do my dream and go back to the Wild West and, like, learn. And it also, in the first one, it shows that he doesn't know how to handle a gun. And... Yeah, like, so there's set up... I like the way that they have... all this whole trilogy is, like, almost a perfect trilogy in that...
They're setting each other
It's so tied together perfectly and stuff like that in subtle ways. And the second one is the one that is the most tied together to everything else.
Yeah. Did they film a whole bunch of the third movie before the second one was released? Because at the end of the second
They filmed them at the same time.
Oh, they did? Sure. Oh, okay, because I was wondering... Because they had a whole bunch of those clips from the third movie at the end of the second one, and I was like, well... Like,
but this is also a special edition DVD release, probably 15-year or whatever, 20-year DVD release.
I thought it was just showing how much fun they were having. It was, even when they released it back then, those parts were coming out. They was just showing them.
They might have
having more fun with time or whatever. To them, maybe it's not fun.
Well, that's the thing. You saw the end. You saw the end of the second one.
Yeah.
So at the end of the second one, Doc Brown gets sent to the Wild West. 1885, 100 years in the past from the present day of when the first movie was made, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then they... so as soon as he disappears, a dude comes up and gives Marty a letter.
Yeah, basically what Marty had almost done in the first one by giving
Doc a letter, but this is, like, more inadvertent. Like, that's kind of cool, though. Yeah. This letter has been waiting for, like, 100 years to get to Marty, right? And then, so he reads this letter, and he goes and finds the other Doc Brown. So, the original Marty that was in 1965...
is gone now.
He just disappeared, and then the other Marty from 1885 or 1985, like the one that we have been following the whole time, comes running up the street and sees Doc. So Doc just sent one Marty away, and another one comes running up, and like it kind of ends there, right? I wasn't able to finish. I had to run, but it kind of I don't remember exactly where it ends. Like he runs up and he just talks to him and says like, "I need your help" or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
and then it kind of ends and it shows them a whole bunch of clips in the Wild West.
Yeah, so I don't know. The second one sets up the third one perfectly.
But the second one, they set up the third one as well, even prior to that, with showing that Biff's like ancestor or something like that.
Buford Tannen.
Was a gunslinger in the Old West.
Fastest gun in the West.
And that's who we're gonna obviously see
He's
as the antagonist in the third one.
But yeah, so the second one, I don't know. Would you say did you like it more than the first one or less?
I still really enjoyed it. Still had fun, but I think I liked it less than the first one. The first one,
I don't know. It's a real toss-up. The second one.
That's the thing, though.
The thing is, I think that if you look at the second one, when it came out in the 80s, whatever it was, 86 or 87, it would have been this. Like, the future stuff would have been like, oh, that's so amazing.
Mm-hmm. Like when the shark comes out of the movie theater for Jaws 19 and, like, pretends to, like, eat him and then, like...
So that's kind of cool science fiction, right? Because...
The hoverboard, for sure. I guess that's, like, the most iconic thing
to me,
series.
Science fiction that when they go to the future is best once that date has passed and you can look back and be like...
This is what they thought we were going to be at, right?
So I think that the second one has almost improved. Like, it's better now if you watch it than if you watched it then, because you can appreciate the fact that we, like, in some ways were way more advanced than what they thought. Like, nobody has a smartphone, right?
No.
But they have, like, flying cars and all this other shit.
Self-tying shoelaces.
Yeah. And... So, like, in some ways, we are more, and they can control the weather. That's the best part, I think. The coolest thing, even though it's just a subtle one little thing they talk about it, but I think that's the coolest thing that they can do, is they can harness the power of the earth in such a way that they can control when and where it rains.
Yeah.
Either that or Doc Brown. No, I'm pretty sure, because he said, I wish the Postal Service was as good as the Weather Service.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, it was, yeah.
So that means they're controlling it. Because in a way, you could almost think he's been there before, so he knows exactly when the rain is going to stop. But no, he did say it's the Weather Service.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I said, in a way, it's almost improved with age for the fact that it's 2015 right now, and you can look and be like, that's not what today looks like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Like... like you said, we're more advanced in some ways, but less advanced in a lot of ways, right? Like, the fashion senses are just like...
I know.
What?
And every car is literally just like a 80s car. Like, you see the fucking 5.0 Mustang and, like, old, like, mid-80s Camaros and shit, but they're just, like... covered in body kits so that they look futuristic looking and like big old wings on the back. Like it's hilarious. But I don't know, I really like the second one, but I think I agree with you that it's it's not quite as good as the first one.
No.
But I think that it's also kind of cool how at the end of the first one they set themselves up almost for a super expensive sequel, right? They're like, we're going to the future. So that if they would have made the whole movie in the future, it would have cost so much more money because of all the special effects, all the CGI in it, right?
No, one thing I definitely gave for the special effects in the second movie is every time they had themselves seeing themselves, right?
Like Old Biff and Young Biff, or the two dogs.
The two dogs, or even I don't know if they had a different actor for the Jennifer seeing Jennifer.
No, I think they had the same actors because they were divided enough.
Yeah.
That I'm pretty sure they did.
But it was,
and they all each fell their own separate way, right? Like
No, in that aspect they did really good. Like obviously they had the pole between the two docks, and they had the center of the window separating the two Biffs, but at the same time it was really well done.
No, yeah.
Like there were certain parts where they're handing each other stuff, where they would hit each other. Like they really did a good job with that. Like it held up even today's standards.
The one where Doc hands him the wrench is kind of funny.
No, that whole situation is very comical. It's funny.
But yeah, no. I really like it. And I would say that I would probably give it for a rating, I would say 7.5.
I'm gonna give it. If I'm going to, let's say I went for like a definite 7.5 for the first one, I'll give this one like a 6.8 to 7. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with 7. I'm gonna stick with a 7 for the second one and a 7.5 for the first one.
I don't know. I think the second one is still really close to the first one. So like I said, it's only 2.2 less for me.
Yeah.
7.7, 7.5.